The fascinating world of animal communication and social structures. Intricate patterns of interaction define life within any species, from the silent exchanges between ants to the complex rituals of elephant herds. These behaviors are shaped by evolution over millions of years, forming the foundation of social organization across Earth's ecosystems. Understanding these natural systems provides crucial insight into wildlife conservation efforts while deepening our connection with non-human companions we share this planet with. This exploration delves into how animals communicate, form societies, and navigate their environments through learned behaviors passed down generations. Diverse forms of animal communication. Nature has devised countless methods for creatures to transmit information without spoken language. Chemical signals called pheromones allow insects to mark territories and alert colonies to dangers. Similarly, scent marking is vital for many mammals in establishing dominance hierarchies and delineating home ranges. Vocalizations represent another critical mode of communication, particularly among primates and cetaceans. Dolphins use clicks and whistles as sophisticated signaling systems that enable them to coordinate hunting strategies with astonishing precision. Birds employ songs not only for mating displays but also to warn conspecifics about predators in nearby areas. Biological significance. Effective communication increases survival rates by facilitating resource location, predator avoidance, and reproduction success. Cognitive complexity. Some species demonstrate symbolic thought processes when using gestures or other abstract representations during interactions. Visual cues play an equally essential role in interspecies dialogue. Brightly colored feathers serve dual purposes, attracting mates while warning potential threats about toxicity levels. Warning coloration, such as the aposematic patterns seen in poison dart frogs, evolved precisely because they convey immediate danger messages effectively. Social hierarchies in wildlife communities. Hierarchical structures govern relationships within most animal groups, ensuring efficient division of labor and conflict resolution mechanisms. Among lions, dominant males protect territory boundaries while females manage cooperative hunting operations, reflecting distinct yet complementary roles. Prairie dogs maintain highly structured communities where individuals occupy ranks based on physical strength, age, and combat experience. These rankings determine access to prime nesting sites and breeding opportunities, reinforcing stability within densely populated burrow networks. In aquatic environments, dominance displays take different forms. Salmon compete fiercely during spawning season through elaborate fin-flaring exhibitions before actual physical confrontations occur. Such rituals minimize injury risks while still determining reproductive rights through established competition protocols. Evidence-based insights from ethological studies. Modern research reveals fascinating aspects about these hierarchical dynamics. A 2018 study published in Nature Ecology and Evolution demonstrated that meerkat groups follow strict pecking orders, influencing food-sharing practices and risk-taking behaviors during sentinel duties. Lower-ranking members perform more frequent lookout shifts than higher-status individuals despite receiving less food rewards. This phenomenon suggests evolutionary pressures shaping altruistic tendencies even among seemingly selfish organisms. Similar findings have been documented in vervet monkey troops where junior males contribute significantly to group defense without direct personal benefits. Learning processes in non-human species. Animal learning occurs through various modes including classical conditioning, operant conditioning, observational learning, and problem-solving skills development. Sea otters, for example, learn to open mussel shells by watching adults use stones as tools, demonstrating remarkable cultural transmission. Capabilities. Classical conditioning experiments pioneered by Pavlov revealed that associations between stimuli can be formed universally across species. Marine biologists now apply similar principles to train dolphins for research tasks involving object retrieval under controlled conditions at sea. Operational conditioning proves especially effective in domesticated contexts. Veterinarians utilize positive reinforcement techniques when teaching cats to undergo necessary medical procedures voluntarily, reducing stress responses typically associated with clinical visits. Instinct versus learned behaviors. Biological instincts drive fundamental actions essential for survival, often hardwired since birth. Spiders constructing webs according to species-specific blueprints exemplifies innate behavior patterns transmitted genetically rather than acquired through experience. Contrastingly, birds developing song dialects shows clear evidence of learned abilities. Young zebra finches raised away from their parents fail to develop normal vocal patterns unless exposed later to appropriate auditory models, highlighting environmental influences on behavioral outcomes. Some species exhibit hybrid characteristics combining both elements. Bees display instinctual dance routines conveying directional information about flower locations, yet individual variations arise depending on local landscape features encountered during foraging trips. Celebrated examples of complex behavioral patterns. Certain species showcase exceptionally intricate cognitive capacities reflected in their daily activities. Octopuses solve puzzles involving escape routes, manipulating objects creatively toward goals without prior instruction. Their intelligence rivals some vertebrate species despite lacking centralized brains found in mammals. Tool usage represents advanced mental processing observed primarily among primates and corvids. New Caledonian crows fashion hooks from twigs to extract grubs from crevices, showing innovation comparable to human ingenuity in crafting specialized instruments. Migratory navigation demonstrates another layer of complexity requiring multi-generational knowledge transfer. Arctic terns traverse thousands of miles annually following inherited pathways encoded within genetic material, yet adjust course slightly each year based on environmental changes experienced along the journey. Royal societies in insect colonies. Ant and bee societies operate under rigid caste systems dividing responsibilities among worker classes, reproducers, and guardsmen. These divisions maximize colony efficiency through specialization akin to human industrial production lines. In honeybee hives, young workers initially clean cells before progressing to nectar collection, then eventually becoming guard bees responsible for protecting entrances against intruders. This sequential task progression ensures optimal skill utilization throughout each individual insect's lifespan. Ant colonies similarly exhibit phased labor transitions where soldiers defend borders while nurses tend larvae inside brood chambers. Such organized structures persist indefinitely through continuous replacement cycles, maintaining population balance and territorial integrity. Evolutionary perspectives on social systems. These complex societal arrangements didn't emerge overnight. Evolutionary pressure gradually refined simple grouping behaviors into sophisticated collective functions. Ancestral ant lineages likely started gathering food together for mutual protection before evolving into fully integrated superorganisms. Research indicates that eusociality, characterized by overlapping generations working cooperatively for common benefit, arose independently 3 separate times in evolutionary history, once in termites, twice in Hymenoptera, bees/brood. This convergent evolution underscores its adaptive advantages in optimizing resource acquisition strategies. Interactions between different species. Mutualism describes beneficial partnerships where both parties derive advantages. Cleaner fish removing parasites from larger marine animals receive sustenance while providing health services essential for host longevity. Such symbiotic relationships enhance ecosystem resilience through reciprocal support. Competition drives speciation events by forcing populations to adapt differently to shared resources. African savanna elephants modifying habitats create niches occupied subsequently by smaller ungulates, illustrating ecological succession fueled by interspecies rivalry over limited space and nourishment. Predator-prey dynamics shape landscapes dramatically through top-down regulation effects. Wolves keeping elk populations in check prevent overgrazing that would otherwise destabilize entire plant communities dependent on moderate browsing pressure for seed dispersal mechanisms. Behavioral adaptations to environmental changes. Animals continuously modify behaviors in response to shifting climatic conditions affecting habitat availability. Polar bears adjusting hunting tactics near melting ice flows reflect flexible adaptation strategies, enhancing survival probabilities amid global warming challenges. urbanization prompts behavioral plasticity, allowing city-dwelling foxes to exploit novel food sources left behind by human activity while avoiding traffic hazards associated with traditional nocturnal movement patterns previously sufficient for rural living conditions. Nocturnal habits in many desert dwellers prevent excessive water loss due to extreme daytime temperatures, showcasing physiological behavioral integration optimized through natural selection pressures acting over millennia-long time frames. Human influence on wild animal behaviors. Conservation programs often alter natural behaviors unintentionally by providing artificial feeding stations or altering migration corridors. Mountain gorilla habituation projects aimed at promoting tourism sometimes lead to dependency issues where animals become too reliant on human-provided supplements instead of wild foods. Light pollution disrupts circadian rhythms, causing disorientation problems for migratory birds relying heavily on celestial navigation markers. These disturbances may reduce reproductive success rates by delaying optimal timing for nesting activities relative to seasonal cues normally regulated internally. Loud noises from infrastructure construction deter pollinators from visiting flowering plants intended for cross-pollination assistance, potentially triggering cascading extinctions across interconnected biological networks dependent upon precise pollinator schedules maintained through ancestral coevolution. Current research directions and future prospects. Advancements in neuroimaging technologies permit unprecedented examination of brain activity linked to decision-making processes in experimental subjects. Functional magnetic resonance imaging studies on rats navigating mazes reveal activation patterns mirroring those seen in humans solving spatial puzzles, suggesting similar neural substrates underlying navigational competence across diverse taxa. Artificial intelligence applications increasingly aid researchers analyzing vast volumes of behavioral data collected via remote monitoring devices equipped with motion sensors and acoustic recorders deployed strategically throughout wilderness zones to track population movements accurately without intrusive presence. Synthetic biology offers promising avenues for understanding gene-environment interactions governing developmental trajectories. By engineering model organisms expressing fluorescent proteins activated by specific environmental triggers, scientists visualize dynamic expression profiles revealing regulatory sequences responsible for phenotypic variability within controlled settings. Conclusion: the rich tapestry of animal behavior encompasses communication modalities, social frameworks, learning capabilities, and adaptive flexibility spanning all taxonomic groups. From microscopic nematodes responding chemically to macroscopic whales singing beneath ocean surfaces, every creature contributes uniquely to ecological harmony. Continued investigation into these phenomena enriches our comprehension of nature's design while guiding informed decisions regarding wildlife preservation initiatives. Embracing curiosity towards our fellow inhabitants fosters deeper respect for biodiversity essential to sustaining planetary health.